Hello again, chapter 31. I tell Amy and Cody I'll be right back, but they barely notice. Across the way, Cassidy stands beneath the bare branch of an oak. She still hasn't seen me, but I can tell she's searching. Then Marcus West steps out of the shadows and puts his arm around her. Have you ever started to wave at someone and then realized they weren't really waving at you? So you are bored and go for an head scratch instead. That's how I felt, only instead of scratching my head, I break off my beeline for Cassidy and abruptly turn toward the cake. My cup needs a refill anyway. It's always need a refill at a party like this. Cheap 3.2 beer. In fact, I chug. Sorry. I chug on down and go for another. Cassidy and Marcus are now talking to another one of the basketball players and his girlfriend. That's alright, I tell myself. There is no reason I shouldn't go over there. Of course, Cassidy was bound to show up with Marcus. This isn't the night we hook up again. This is just the night when she realized how inevitable it is for us to hook up again. How inevitable it is for us to hook up again. So, what's up, people? I say, approaching Cassidy's little group. What's the deal? No one has a beer yet? I'm not drinking, says Marcus. But I see you have 2 beers yourself. I just brought an extra in case anyone else wants one. I'm looking straight at Cassidy. Sure, she says. Thanks. Not even one sarcastic remark about me and beer to go along with it. Now the friends they're talking to, Drake and Shannon, that's a different story. They both staring at me like I'm some kind of notorious strangler who just show up with a bucket of dead roses at his latest victim's funeral. Sorry. I'm not here to make any trouble. Thought. At least nothing blatant. I'm just going to hang around and let my neutral positivity vibrate. Maybe drop a code word here and there that only Cassidy and I know the meaning of. I don't need to make any big declaration. I don't need to pick fights or show off or come riding in or claiming white steed. Just letting the good old inner Southern radiate out in waves will be more than enough to remind Cassidy of what she's missing. We haven't been talking for more than 10 minutes before I have everybody laughing, even Drake and Shannon. They rolling over this story about the time in grade school when I stacked a foot race between a schnauzer and poodle and sold tickets. Listen, it's hard not to have a good time around me. I know what I'm doing. I'm a funny guy. I spread the prosperity to each and all. I've just reached the end of the story when I hear a voice over my shoulder. What's so funny? It's Denver quietly. He's tall with curly brown hair and a big, heavy Neanderthal forehead. I never could understand what Alyssa Norman sees in his, not so much because of his looks, but because he is about as entertaining as 10 pounds of asphalt. So I look him in the eye. Gosh. So I look him in the eye and go, schnauzers. And he's like, what? Schnauzers? That was funny. It's just a hilarious word. Do you think? A dull, annoyed look falls across his eyes. Whatever. So there. Has anyone seen Alyssa? Sure, I say. I saw her a while ago walking down by the lake with Jason Doyle. His eyes flare. Doyle? He spits the name out like a mouthful of spoiled milk. They were just having a little friendly conversation, I say, and quietly it goes. Well, maybe I just have to go give him a little friendly ass kicking. He starts way into the crowd and Marcus is right behind him going, Hey, Denver, now, I'm sure it's nothing. Slow down. Drake and Shannon are tagging along too and Marcus looks back over his shoulder and tells Cassidy to wait there. He'll be right back. After they disappear into the crowd, she shoots me this withering gaze. What are you up to now? Me? I'm not up to anything. Is Jason Doyle even with Alyssa? He might be. He seems to have the idea that she dumped quietly like a lump of frozen shit out of a 747. And you didn't have anything to do with it? Would it piss you off if I did? She smiles. Not really. Jason deserves it. I do what I can in the name of justice. Ready for another beer? Sure. So, now it's just me and Cassidy the way it should be. We hit the cake and I gave her the lowdown on how well Ricky is making out with Bethany. She's happy for Ricky and has to admit I did a good thing helping them get together. So, do you believe me now that I was just hanging around with Tara Thompson to help Ricky out? It's a bold question considering the touchiness of the subject. But sometimes you just have to open the hatch and make the leap. She stares at me for a moment, then nods. Yeah, she says. I guess I do, but I don't think you were making all that much of a sacrifice. I mean, Tara's pretty cute. Well, let me see. Who would I really prefer? I hold my hands out like scales. Cassidy is my beer ham. Over here I have cute Tara. I lower my non-beer hand a little with the weight of Tara's cuteness. And over here I have spectacularly beautiful you. I drop the beer hand way down. I think it's pretty obvious, don't you? She scrunches her nose and shakes her head. Don't smile at me like that. You know what that smile doesn't to me. Oh, I'm irresistible. Alright, I turn the smile up a notch to high beam. There is nothing I can do about that. Just then a shot rises up on the other side of the crowd. Somebody's pissed off. Oh, I say, quietly must found Jason. Sure enough, sounds of a scuffle follow another angry shot, and the crowd surges back. Cassidy and I circle around to get a better view, and it's quietly alright, but it's not Jason. He's pounding. I don't even recognize the guy. Must be some dude from another school who doesn't know the dangers of flirting with Alyssa Norman. But if it's not Jason at the end of correctly phrase, I ask myself, where is he? Tara's Allison in her dangerous red sweater, and there is Drake trying to pull quietly back, and Marcus wedging himself between quietly and the poor dude from another school. And all around there is a kid laughing or gasping or yelling encouragement. But no Jason and no Amy. Cassidy yells, Marcus, look out, and quickly breaks away from Drake's grip. But it's too late. He slings a punch that misses its target and smacks Marcus square in the ear. Cassidy goes, pull him back, Drake. Pull him back and take off running through the crowd. It's okay now. Thoughts Drake and Marcus both have a hold on quietly, and the other kids' bodies are pulling him away. Cassidy is right behind Marcus now, touching his back gently, I guess, just to let him know she's there to support him. This is a development I don't foresee. I mean, a punch in the ear when performing an act of heroism is bound to draw Cassidy's attention away from fun with me for at least 30 minutes. Talk about a plan backfiring. Then suddenly there is a voice in my ear. Guess you were wrong about Jason Doyle. It's Shannon, standing next to me. Looks like he found someone else to flirt with. I'm like, where? And she points to the dark corner of the clearing far away from the fight. There is Jason standing under a big oak, whispering something. His lips not even an inch from Amy's Finnicky's ear. Finished.